mis ojos, cada gota en mi alma. Welcome everybody to another episode of Dear Neighborhood. We are thrilled today to have a special guest, Cassandra, a talented singer from Queens.
What's up?
Right now we're in Washington Heights, and throughout this video we're going to learn more about Cassandra's musical journey and her latest project. What's the latest project called?
My debut album, Lágrimas.
Whoop whoop! And then later on in the video we'll be helping out with the Dominican Women's Development Center, where we'll be helping out with their clothing drive. Are you excited?
Yes.
Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Okay. Woo! Hello. I'm so excited you're here. So good to see you. Can you tell us why we're here today? Why is Mambi important to you?
So, oh my gosh, Mambi is such a dear place to me because when I first started performing, Washington Heights was the community that I broke into. Actually, right across the street, there's a place called Poción, and that was the first gig I had and first residency that I was performing every week.
Wow.
And so, you know, I'd perform like nights. So in between sets or even after the set, we'd come here, sit in the bar, order whatever is up there, and yeah, just it was a great moment and a very special place to me. So and the food is always great, and I still come here to this day. It's one of the best Dominican not fast food, but like, you know,
To go.
diner, to go spot, and the people here are just so loving, so sweet. It feels like home.
I'm excited to eat.
Yes.
Wait, this looks so good. What are we eating?
I'm so excited for this. This is a very traditional Dominican plate, and it's called tres golpe. And typically have it for breakfast, like a lunch, and it's smashed plantains, fried cheese, pickled and sauteed red onions, and this is salami, so it's fried salami, and then a fried egg.
When did you realize that you were in love with music?
I don't think there was like a moment where I said, oh, this is it. I think it was always since I was like, there's videos of me when I was like 2-3 years old, just like literally running around the house singing, putting on a show. And it just was something that always captivated me. And there was like certain musics that would just excite me so much. And every time I had visitors come over, I would put on a show for them, especially when it was like my tias or my grandmothers coming to visit. I'd be like, hold on, I want to sing for you. And when I got into high school and I started doing the talent shows, that's when I really started to realize how much I loved it. And then it was when I got to college, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to study this career if singing is my passion. And that's when I decided to make the change and fully commit it 100%.
What type of music did you listen to when you were younger?
A lot of this.
A lot of this. What is this?
This is rancheras. This is, you know, Mexican music. I heard this a lot from my grandmother's side. She loved rancheras. Vicente Fernandez was her favorite. And then I listened to a lot of merengues and bachatas. So, and then obviously from me growing up, a lot of like Britney Spears and all those Christina Perry, and, you know, all these artists grew up, and my older cousins put me on into Sade, and so
Love Sade.
I love Sade. I remember being like 6 years old or something, young, And my cousin, I went to go visit her, and she had a CD player of Sade, like one of her concerts.
Yeah.
And she puts it on, and I'm immediately mesmerized by this woman. I don't even know who she is,
Yeah.
but the way she's performing, the way she's doing her concerts, the way she's singing, and ever since then I was hooked.
Wow.
So now me and my cousin, we have this special bond over Sade, and it's like,
I love that.
Yeah.
So I love that story. And I've seen you perform.
Yeah.
You also have a very magnetic stage presence. So good. How did you learn to not be afraid on stage and just to put yourself out there?
well, the funny thing is, I was terrified at first.
Yeah.
When I first started performing, and I experienced that in high school, because
Yeah.
I'm like, when I got on stage, my legs started shaking, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
And I had like this huge fear, but there was like a fire in me, and I was like, oh no, like I want to keep doing this. I gotta get over this fear. And it wasn't until I really started like performing ritually, like all the time, I started to develop like cute little traits that I wanted to do on stage, and taking inspirations from some of my favorite artists and applying that, and obviously applying a lot of me, and just opening up more to the point where it's like I'm excited to get on stage now. It's like home for me. It's the best way that I can express myself aside from writing music.
So you would consider yourself a singer-songwriter, or both, or one or the other?
Both.
Okay.
Both. 100% through and through, both. Songwriting is the best way I can express myself and get things off my chest. Like, it's really crazy. There is things that are very hard for me to say, and moments in my life that are very hard to explain. And I've written songs about, and it's like, this is exactly what I wanted to say. And so for me, it's therapy. It's therapy, it's fulfilling, and I feel like it's one of the best gifts God could have ever given me, to be able to write music.
And it's so great that you like found his purpose for you, and that it's just like giving you that peace that you just know, like this is what I was placed on the earth to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I really felt like I unlocked, you know, like when you're playing video games and you're like, oh, I unlocked a level, like I unlocked a key. I feel like just actually this past month, I went on my first writing camp, and I know, it's a dream that I've always wanted to do. And I went, a very small team, just me, my producer, and one other person on board. And I wrote the entire album. It's like 13 songs, and that was a challenge I wanted to do. I wanted to challenge myself to do this on my own, and just have like assistance with musical chords and all that. And I feel like I unlocked like my full potential during that trip, and it's so fulfilling. I'm like so excited.
I can tell like the passion in your eyes for sure that it was an amazing experience. Where was the camp?
The camp?
Yeah.
Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to go back to my home country.
Take it back to the roots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what type of mode do you say you get in when you're in the writing phase?
I would say I'm just very in tune with my emotions, with my feelings, and I eliminate all distractions. I try not to look, no social media, no other, like, I don't listen to any other music. I just focus on what I'm feeling and the message I want to put across. And then it's also a moment where like my brain is hurting because it's like constant, and I'll wake up in the middle of my sleep, like with melodies. Like these melodies will just start waking me up.
You just like see them in your dreams.
See them in my dream. I hear them all day long, and there's really no off button. Because if I hear something when I like, for example, my last day there, I was so tired, done after 7 days. But I woke up at 7 in the morning to a melody in my head.
Wow.
From that, and I had to record it right away. From that, we made a whole song out of it that our very last day. And so it's like you never really turn it off while you're there. You can't, you know? There's no time to relax. It's like, go.
So why are we helping out at the Dominican Women's Development Center today?
Well, thinking through like one of the things that mean the most to me, obviously aside from just helping in general, the ones that really need help, just thinking through like personal experiences. My mother was a single mother, and she, when she first came here, she wasn't a mom when she came here. She married my dad here and everything, but she became a single mother years later, and she still struggled with her English, and it was very hard for her to really, I guess, adapt to a surrounding that, has a different language, and being Latina and then having her kids, and so I guess it impacted me a lot when I saw that Washington Heights has a women's center, and more that it's a Latino center, Dominican women, and I wanted to sow a seed there as well and help as much as I can, because I know that community from my mom was a big thing when she was transitioning through all that change.
You can't make it without community.
No, you can't. You really cannot.
So we're gonna finish our food before we head off to DWC.
So when we entered DWDC, Josh greeted us and gave us a tour of the center. During this tour, we learned about the different spaces at the center, such as the craft room for participants to express their creativity, and a resting space for people to come in and take a break from the outside world.
How did you both get involved with DWC?
I've been here since 2015.
Wow.
But it wasn't here. It was in 189 in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
Wow.
So we started really small. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you continued.
Yeah.
So you've seen it all evolve.
Yes. But before it was in a shower and a glam room. So when we moved here, is that we created the glam room and the drop-in center.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then how did you find DWC?
Oh, my best friend, which is Diani, that you guys know.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been best friends since I would say I was 6 or 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
So she, a while ago, I think probably around 2015 or 16, also started working at DWC, and I was kind of just play a support role, like, oh, your internship is like creating a movie and you guys are having a premiere. Okay, I'll be there to support. Or, oh, you need a DJ for an event. Okay, I'll support. And I was kind of just like, show my face once in a while. And then there came a point where I was really questioning. Kind of like the idea of what does it mean to be working in these type of environments of like nonprofit or giving back, and feeling, I think, fulfilled from that, but then feeling pressures from the world of like, you need a labor intensive job, or you need a job that's kind of cutthroat in business and not so much about supporting others. And so I was kind of battling that, and I was like, I actually want to get back in that realm, and that actually makes me feel really good and not have existential crises.
Yeah, like all the time.
You know?
America.
Yeah, like, what am I doing? Am I fulfilling my destiny? You know? So I was like, I really want to get back into that.
So I'm so excited that we made it here.
Yeah.
It's good. It's just a walk away. It was so close from Mambi's.
It really was.
That's a lucky.
Yeah.
It's a lucky streak for us. So you're in this community center. I feel like community is so important to the center. Just by being here, I can feel it. How would you describe the feeling of being a part of a supportive community?
I feel like it's like an extended family. You get that sense. You get that sense of belonging, and you feel fulfilled when you help and lend a helping hand and serve, just like you would when it's your own family. And so when you have that feeling, and then the feeling of like they support you and they're like your backbone, it's like I said, it's like a sense of belonging. You feel good. You feel good to be here. You feel like home. You're excited to be around these people that care about you.
So on our walk here, you mentioned that when you moved to Florida, you and your mother and your siblings spent time where again?
In my like childhood, after moving from New York, we moved to Florida, and then a few years later, my parents had a divorce. They split up, and so my mom became a single mother of 5 kids. And so you know, she relied heavily on things like this, like women's help center, and you know, children's help centers also. And we lived for a while. We lived in these apartments, these beautiful, like they had just made these beautiful apartments, and it was specifically for single mothers. And when I was, you know, at that age, I didn't really understand it, but my mom would always tell me, oh, we're so lucky. Look at this apartment we got. And it was really nice too, and I remember it. And she's like, it's because I'm a single mother, look. And she was so proud that she was doing this, like on her own. She had the help, and she built a community around her with all these other single mothers that were doing it. And looking back now, I realized that for her, that was a very special moment because it gave her the strength she needed and the confidence to believe I could do this on my own as a single mother. And it's just, so these communities are very special to me. Yeah.
That's so good. What does the mood board for your album look like?
Like, what can we expect?
I would definitely say it's very dramatic. I would say there's a lot of like that passion and energy as far as like mood. Very inspired by like the 70s and the 90s, and so a lot of that is seen on that. That's a lot of mood and lighting and the glam, but also, you know, it's a story about my life, a personal moment in my life, and so it talks about that, and it elevates femininity. I think I'm saying, I always say the word wrong.
What specifically from your life? You said it's like a part of your life that's in the album. Would you mind giving specifics?
So this album, it talks about like my first real heartbreak that I experienced. And I guess it was a point, or pivotal point, where I was transitioning from a naive young girl, young woman, and going through that transition in life and coming out of it. And a lot of like self-realizations, reflection. And so it's an album that takes you on that journey. Like it starts in that pivotal moment where I'm left with the heartbreak and I'm left picking up the pieces. So the first song is a very dramatic song. It's like a desperate cry. And then it transitions to takes you on a roller coaster of like emotions of like forgiveness, and then a celebration of life, and like celebrating where you're from. You know, it's identified in your culture and your roots. And then it ends with like surrender and peace, the album. And so I think it's the perfect reflection of that moment in my life. And I'm so proud of it. I'm just so proud of it.
That is such a hard thing to do.
Oh,
And you did it. Not very many people can say like they sing and write their own songs. So double trouble
Definitely.
here.
very proud of it.
No, I'm getting. Is there a lyric that is your favorite from one of the songs on the album, or a lyric from any song that you've written that's your favorite?
It would have to be from the song of the album itself. You're getting the interview right front and center. It would have to be from the last song on the album, which is actually the album's name, and I'm sing for you. It goes, lágrimas como llueven mis ojos, cada gota en mi alma, lágrimas, lágrimas, el reflejo de una esperanza que no se cansa. So it says, el reflejo de una esperanza que no se cansa. So it means it's a hope that never tires. So it's like the tears. Lágrimas means tears. So tears, the reflection of a hope that never tires. And to me, when I wrote that line, just brought me to so much tears because, you know, I've been through a lot growing up, and there's one thing that I always clinged onto was hope. you know, hope for.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's, God, I didn't expect to get all teary. It's like
That's okay.
when you have hope, you always move forward, and it pushes you. And there's so many things that can go wrong in life, and that's the challenge of life. You know, life is about that, and it's about getting over that hurdle and getting over that mountain. And it's, for so many people, they never see that because they don't have hope, and hope is such an important thing. Thank you. I'm sure you can relate too.
Probably.
Thank you.
I'm gonna need to listen
It's
to the
that
album,
hope,
honey.
right? Hope. If you don't have that,
It's everything feels
it's
like it's gone.
it's gone. You need that to move
That
forward.
little sprinkle. Something.
That's what gets you over to the next.
Girl, stop! Don't make me cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to the album.
And so I think that, to me, that's the strongest line in that album. And I'm proud of the whole album, but that line in particular, I'm super proud of because it is what life is about to me. It's about holding on to that hope. So.
What is the mission of DWDC?
The mission of DWDC is to empower all people who walk through our doors or people who have yet to walk through our doors. Our mission is really to empower and promote equality across all intersectionalities of identities, especially empowering women and decisions that they make to take their lives into their own hands and create something that they can be proud of and can represent. A lot of our work is really about not having people feel like they're othered, and being able to be welcomed and be able to be the ones who create the destiny of their own path and what they want to do. Whether that's just having a place to chill, hang out, and talk to other people, or taking steps to start their own businesses, promote their own businesses, or even just find community in different aspects of ways they've never thought before. We have a lot of people who come here and maybe are just like, I need health insurance, and end up creating empires and being able to then look at the community that serviced them and wonder how they can give back. And so we're all just about empowerment and making sure that people feel heard.
Amazing mission.
Thank you so much, my love.
Thank
You've
you,
been
thank you.
great.
Thank
You for.
Group hugs.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much, honestly. Thank you.
Yes.
Hopefully
We'll see you soon. No, absolutely. Yes.
I had such a great time volunteering with you at DWDC. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was just so much better than I could have imagined, and I feel so good about what we did, and I'm excited to do more and build more on my neighborhood.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I hope it touches so many lives. You've definitely touched my life in the short time that I've known you. And so I really appreciate you. And you're in the Dear Neighborhood family forever. Yes.
Thank you.
That's what community is
That
all
means the
about.
world.
Why do you think it's important to help your community?
I think it's super important because your community is like your backbone. And when you build on each other, you only get stronger. And when you have, like I said, that sense of community, you feel like you belong somewhere. And so you want to invest in where your heart is and where your goals are, where you come and you feel safe and you feel at home. So I think it is super important to be aware of the people around you, that the ones that need more help, that are a little less fortunate, to lend that hand, and you'll realize how fulfilling it is when you do it.
And why is it important to remember where you came from, like your roots?
Because that gives you identity.
Yeah.
And identity is something that is so important, because when you have that confidence. You know who you are, and you're able to really fulfill that purpose that you have in life. And I feel like everyone has a purpose, and it's up to them to really, really confidently pursue it.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we right now?
So we are at United Palace, and it is a beautiful historical theater here in Washington Heights. It is famous. It's one of the most popular theaters here. in Manhattan, I'd say too. And this one is just so full of culture, you know, especially in the Dominican community and the Latino community. A lot of artists come here, especially a lot of Dominican artists, especially for the ones that are in DR. This is like a lifelong dream for them to come here and sell it out. And a lot of famous and well-known musicians have come and played here.
Nice.
So it's,
Well, I hope to see you here one day.
that's right. You heard it first. We're manifesting that,
Yes, we're
okay?
gonna manifest
One day
it.
right here. Sold out.
Okay, so at the end of every episode, I ask our guests to read out a love letter that they wrote for their community. So would you like to share your love letter with us?
Yes, absolutely. I got it right here. All right, so I wrote a love letter to my beautiful community, and I wanted to share it. And it goes a little something like this. For the majority of my life, my community and backbone has been New York City, baby. While from the outside it may seem like harsh, rugged, and rude place, when you're in the heart of it, you know it's the most genuine and often selfless community that you could ever experience. This is a place where I started my music journey, aquí mismo mi gente, and that accepted me with open arms, going out of their way to open doors while expecting nothing in return. It was only then that I came to appreciate the true nature of community, right here in my backyard, New York City. A melting pot where everyone has each other's backs, dreams are supported, and a sense of belonging is felt. It's like an extended family, and that is the true gift of community. Even on my worst days, it's this very energy and hustle that drives me to achieve my max potential. Like any family, it's fulfilling to serve and extend a helping hand. And so Washington Heights for me is just that extension of that family. And with a lot of love and pride, I believe in the power of community, just like they believe in me. So, con mucho amor, La Cassandra.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, La Cassandra.
Thank you.
It's been so great
It
having
has.
you. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this Dear Neighborhood video. I've had a great time learning more about La Cassandra, and I hope you guys did too. If you want to continue being a part of this Dear Neighborhood community, because we're a family, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below your favorite part of the video, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications. This is Dear Neighborhood. Thank you for watching.
Check the description box below for a link to donate to the Dominican Women's Development Center. 100% of the proceeds will go directly to supporting DWDC's mission to empower all women and communities to advance gender equality and social justice.